Out my limitations with Ultra 8 HD, I'm gonna have to upload this in two parts. By my first video in the title, you'll see that was part one. This will be part two, and I'm limited for whatever reason to 10 minutes on my phone here. But I mean, the fit and finish is just incredible. I mean, you can see here that hardware, despite having taken it apart, no marring or no fitment issues whatsoever. The screws look great. They fit perfect. No gaps on any part of it. They fit perfectly flush against the scales. Of course, the pivot screw sticks up a little bit, but that's always been the case with Hinderer knives. You can see again, everything just fitting perfectly. And let me tell you, obviously there's no blade play on these. I mean, that's not normally been an issue. No blade play, but no detent rock. I mean, these things are in. Let me tell you, that detent, that feels great. Give you a shot of the blade getting sucked in here. Wonderful. That is a strong detent, not to the point where it's annoying, but to the point where when you go to flip that knife, it is going to deploy, and that's fantastic. This is as close to a perfect folding knife as I have ever seen. As much as I love the Manix 2, I always prefer a titanium frame lock when I can get one. If I can get a titanium frame lock between 7.75 inches and 8.25 inches, and I can get it in full titanium, and I can get bearings, and I can get a steel lock bar insert, I can get M390 steel, and I can get all of that in a package that is so well made with such an incredible attention to detail and function, then I'm going to be happy. And there are a few things out there that are exactly that, that have the look that I like, that have the feel that I like, and there's going to be a million different opinions. Some people are going to look at this and go, that thing is way too bulky for me. It's way too big. It probably weighs 6.5 ounces, and that's exactly what it weighs. It is a heavy knife with this titanium scale, 5.5 with the G10 scale. And I don't like the look. They're going to say maybe I don't like the look of it, and that's totally fine. But man, for me and for a lot of people, that's why these are so popular, because they hit so many nails right on the head in terms of preference for a lot of people. And on top of that, again, as I've said a million times, you have a super high quality functioning tool. This thing is going to do what it's intended to do, which is cut, and it's going to handle reasonable hard use. Not abuse, but reasonable hard use. I mean, what else is there to say, really? It's just an incredible feat. And again, I don't want to steal quotes from Jim Skelton, but I agree with him. It's kind of a surprise that it took so long for somebody to do something like this. I mean, the design is simple, and all credit goes to Rick Hinderer. I'm not saying that, somebody as common or regular Joe like me could have easily thought this up, but he milled pockets in the blade to accept these spacers, so that there's room for the washers and the bearing system alike, and everything is fitted perfectly. I think it is going to change some things, for some other manufacturers. I think it is going to be a new thing that we start seeing with other knives, because you have so many arguments, and nobody's 100% right. I mean, yeah, there are limitations with bearings. There are limitations with nylon washers. There are even limitations with phosphor bronze washers, but you have so many people with such strong opinions, with different experiences and varying levels of use and abuse and things that they've dealt with. You just have so much of that a system like this is so appropriate and so refreshing. It's just going to allow people to do what they want, and I hope people try this. I hope someone watching this video has been a part of the crowd of skeptics for a long time. Maybe you love the way that Hinderers look, but maybe what you've heard in the past has held you back from buying one. And now maybe you're enticed. Well, let me tell you, as far as I'm concerned, somebody who's owned multiple and has owned the Gen 4, multiple variants of the Gen 4, and the Generation 5, and now the Generation 6, I can tell you that these things have only improved to the point where I am so unbelievably satisfied with this that it's almost it's almost sad because this knife makes me not really want anything else. This thing leaves nothing to be desired. And, I'm sure there's a lot of people maybe even rolling their eyes thinking, man, words of a true Hinderer fanboy. And you know what? You're right. I am a huge fan of Hinderer knives, but for good reason. If you can justify that price and you've been interested in these and you're on the fence right now, I'm going to say you're going to be hard-pressed to find anyone who has something negative to say about the Gen 6 that's not talking about either a boring design or a design that they're just not interested in, or the price. Those are empty arguments. If you can justify the price and you like the design and you've never owned one before, the Gen 6 is the one to go for, And if they haven't released your blade shape yet, then just wait, because he's going to surely release this system in all of his models. They've got 3 inchers out right now, Wharncliffe and Slicer. I think you can get them at DLT. They've got this no-choil Spanto. They've got Wharncliffes, and they've got Skinners at the time of this video upload. So if you love this and you want a different blade shape, just wait. I know there's a lot of people out there waiting for slicers, and I was going to be one of them until I saw DLT was doing this, and I was like, oh, I'll go with the flagship Spanto. And actually, to talk more about that, part of the reason I went with this is one of my first knives that got me into high-end folding knives was the ZT Hinderer 0562 slicer. That model also did not have a forward choil, and I loved it. And that knife set this crazy bar for me, and it sent me down this path of trying to find the most premium cutting tool I could find, and buying and selling and trading over years and years and years and years, and finding things that I thought that I would like, and maybe changing my mind and going back. And I always kind of went back to that 0562 thinking, man, this thing is just incredible. I haven't really found anything. Maybe, and I bought it as a placeholder for a true Hinderer, because back then you couldn't get them for anything less than $600, $700, $800 on the secondary market. Well, then I could, and I got the real thing, and I remember thinking, well, I love it for what it is, but it's, honestly, it's not quite as good as the 0562. Well, having a no-choil Spanto is both paying homage, for me, it's paying homage to my original knife that got me started with all this, the 0562. And at the same time, kind of appreciating the flagship Hinderer blade design, going with the Spanto, making it my own, as he says, with the titanium scale, which is what I had always wanted when I couldn't afford the real thing. But this is as good or better than the 0562 now, and I can confidently say that. And yeah, it's way more expensive, but it's kind of like, I feel like I'm coming full circle here. I started with the 0562 and I graduated to the most perfect version of what I loved about that knife. And I'm nothing but satisfied now. This is as happy as I've ever been with a folding knife. I can't find a single thing wrong with it, and I love it. So anyways, I hope you all enjoyed this upload today. If you did, please leave a like, and if you'd like to comment, say whatever you think. Even if you don't agree with me, that's fine. Go ahead and comment in the comment section. I'm a nice guy, and I tend not to argue with people, and I enjoy the discussion. So I'd like to hear what you have to say. And if you enjoy this and you want to check out my other content, I do have lots of videos of either expensive or inexpensive knives that I either do or don't like, so check those out. And if you like that stuff, then please subscribe to my channel, because there is more coming, though I can't really specify when I'll upload. I kind of upload at random and when I feel like it. So anyways, hope you enjoyed the video today, and have a great day.